you said something, and I don't know if them out there understand. So you say you're a mortgage
broker, yeah.
So what's the difference between, I know, but I want you to tell them.
So a mortgage broker, what we do is I like to say we save people time and money. We save them time because we take out all the headache and hassle of going to a dozen different lenders and getting quotes. We do that for you. So what I do is I'll go and I'll shop 3 or 4 of the nation's top lenders, because lenders are competing for the business, so they're offering lower interest rates and lower cost. I do that for you. I shop around to find the lowest cost and the lowest rate as a mortgage broker.
That's a win for the public. That is totally a win.
There are a lot of different ways of getting home loans. You've got retail, you've got wholesale, you've got credit unions, and what I love to do is save people money. And quite often, my fees, and more so on reverse mortgages, are going to be half of what you're going to find anywhere else.
Can I say that Kent and I have the same philosophy? We don't care about what we make as much as taking care of our clients. And our clients become our friends. And they use us again and again because we care more about them than we care about us. So that's why I like him. He has the same philosophy as I do. And I have often said, if it becomes more about me and my pocketbook, I will be out of business. I care about you.
Yep. Clients, we always take care of our borrowers, do what's best for them. And there have been times that I've advised. So again, as a loan officer, my job is to educate. We want to educate you as borrowers on the different loan programs out there. And I'll be the first one to tell you if I feel a loan is not your best interest.
And he does.
And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But it's good to know all of your options. And a reverse mortgage is definitely a good option for those that are in or nearing retirement that want to save money, want to maybe get into a newer, nicer home or accommodations, and definitely reach out to Yvonne or myself, and we'd be happy to continue answering any questions you have going forward.
And if you decide to stay in your home and you want a reverse mortgage, I'm always in his hip pocket, or he's in mine. We care about you. And even though I'm not going to sell your home, he keeps me in the loop. And yeah, I kind of go to those closings too, haven't I?
Yep.
I showed up to them because it's about you.
And Yvonne is awesome that way. There have been times where she could have helped a borrower sell a house, but it wasn't in their best interest. And Yvonne has recommended keeping that house, maybe as an investment. Even though she's given up a commission that she could have earned, she always does what's best for her clients.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay, I do have one other question, leaving it rolling and we'll just go. Interest rates. Is there a difference when you're doing reverse mortgage versus regular?
Good question.
So ask that question.
I think there's one topic we really need to cover, and that's interest rates.
Yes.
Tell me how that works.
So interest rates go up and down.
Oh, yes.
All the time. You know, they're just like the roller coaster ride, up and down. They go up and down daily. They go up and down weekly, monthly, yearly. They're constantly changing.
That's true.
So just like a traditional forward mortgage, depending on when you lock in your interest rate, will determine if that interest rate is fixed or adjustable for the length of your loan. And you can do the same thing with the reverse mortgage. They do have options to do fixed interest rates. They have options for adjustable interest rates. Okay, and those interest rates will be tied to an index if they're adjustable. Now, if you want an open line of credit that allows you to pull money in and out of your loan, it needs to be an adjustable. Just like a home equity line of credit, a HELOC, a home equity conversion mortgage, or a HECM reverse mortgage will give you an open line of credit, and know that it's adjustable. Now, the nice thing with this adjustable is, let's say your interest, you have an index of 2.5, okay, or excuse me, a margin. So with a reverse mortgage or an adjustable rate, you'll have a margin. That's the profit margin that the lender's going to make, ultimately 2.5, let's say, and you've got an index, let's say it's 2.5, so your adjustable rate today, let's say it's 5%. That index will adjust, but it has caps. So on a reverse mortgage, most reverse mortgages will have a 5% cap. There are some at 10, so you want to make sure that you're understanding the caps on these loans. Most of the loans that I do, we do a 5% cap. So if your rate's at 5, it could go up to 10, but no higher. Okay, it can also go down. And so a lot of these reverse mortgages that I did in the early 2000s, those rates were at 8% adjustable. Then the market went down and they dropped clear down into the 2s because it was an adjustable. So it can go up or down. The nice thing again though, it doesn't affect your payment or your income. It just know that it can go up and down, and it will affect the equity in your house. So typically when rates are going up, values go up, but that's not always the case. But
true.
Historically, home values have always appreciated more than your adjustable interest rate. So again, it's not affecting your ability to keep the house or maintain the house. It's only going to affect the equity that's left in that house when you as a borrower decide to sell or move out or pass away.
Okay,
That help? That answer your question?
yes it
Okay,
did.
good.
So,
I get rambling on. I want to make sure I answer your question right.
I like that you're very detailed. And so, if I have some clients that, you know, they're older, can they bring their kids in? Will you sit down? Will you talk to the client's children so that they understand this?
Yes, great
How
question.
how important that is that to have them there?
That is a really good question, and quite often I will be visiting with the children, as well as the parents or those in retirement
I
that are
think that's
considering it.
important.
So that they're very familiar with
You bet.
the whole process. Myself, I come from a large family,
Me too.
you know, 10 kids, and I actually helped my parents do a reverse mortgage, and none of us kids had any interest in the house, you know. We're all doing fine, we don't need the house, we wanted what's best for our parents, and so we were all for allowing them to get a reverse mortgage,
That's
you know,
great.
so they could enjoy retirement. And that's 99% of the time. There are on occasion some kids will say, no, we don't want you to do a reverse mortgage, and it's typically the kids that have enough money that they'll just buy the house and they'll let their parents live in it, you know, and so they don't have to have that. But majority of people aren't in that situation. Majority, in fact, there was a study I just looked at that over 50% of people in retirement are struggling just to make ends meet, and they don't have family that can help them out. And a reverse mortgage is a huge blessing for them.
I believe that, because when I was a youth and first married, the market was very different than what it is now. And people are working when they're 65 or 70, or I know people that are even working in their 80s, so we are in a different situation now.
Yeah.
So that is a good,
And with inflation
yes,
that we're experiencing right now, more and more people are struggling to
yes,
make
they
ends
are.
meet, but they've got all of this equity in their homes. That equity could be used to help them get into a better home without a house payment, without ongoing maintenance that they need to worry about. I helped this sweet old lady. She didn't want to move. She liked her house, but we did a reverse mortgage for her so that she could build a nice deck and enjoy the patio and the sunsets.
How
And
wonderful.
without it, she couldn't afford it. You know, the cost to do remodeling today is crazy expensive.
It
But
is.
she had all of this equity, and it wasn't benefiting her. So her son and daughter were there. We went over everything. She went forward with it, and I was actually able to help the son do a refinance on his house too.
Good,
Not a
2 for
reverse
1.
mortgage, but a refinance so he could pull some cash out. And so there's a lot of equity that's not doing anybody good in their home. It's just sitting there. And if we can put that to work,
That's wonderful.
you know.
So, if I have a client that's interested in talking to you, and I like to go with Kent so that I understand what he's telling them, because I love hearing this over and over again, how long does it take typically of their time?
That's a great question. I will take as much time as needed so that they understand and get all of their questions answered.
You're not going to go in and be in a hurry and
I try not to be in a hurry.
And out of here.
Yeah.
You're not that type of guy.
Try not to be in a
No.
hurry, within reason.
Yes.
But typically, we're going to spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half, going over all of the questions and answers and whatnot on how the reverse mortgage will benefit them. Will it benefit them?
Right.
First off, we want to make sure the numbers are going to work. So I'll look at your age, I'll look at your home value, we'll look at the going interest rate. Those are the only three things that I need to look at to determine how much of a loan you qualify for a reverse mortgage. Again, it's their age, the home's value, and the going interest rate. So as a broker, if I'm shopping around, if I can get that lower interest rate, I'm getting them more equity they can use. And my fees are lower, so it's more equity.
The thing I love about Kent is if there is an interest rate and it's going like this here, he watches that so carefully so he can lock it right where it is beneficial to you. I love that about him.
Moving on, so we got time. So hour to hour and a half on your first visit. Run all the numbers, then I'll generate a proposal. Now this proposal is 85 pages. Okay,
Is
it's a
that
lot
all?
of
Just
reading material.
85 pages?
Okay, could be a few extra, but typically it's 85 pages, and that's where all the numbers. So we
Right.
go over all the numbers. Then if you decide, you know, I like this, we want to move forward, the next step is that you have to take a counseling class.
Yeah, I was going to mention
So
that.
for all reverse mortgages, there is a counseling class. This would be a cost to you as borrowers that you would need to pay. It's typically $125 up to $200, depending on who you go to. And I give you a list of a dozen or so counselors that you can contact.
And that's a Zoom class, right?
It can be Zoom, it can be in person, over the phone, there's lots of options, but you need to take that counseling class. The counselor will have all of the proposal that I prepared for you, and they'll go over everything a second time to make sure that there's no questions, that I haven't missed anything in my presenting the information. Once that counseling is done, then we can start with your loan application. And it typically is like a traditional forward mortgage. It's about 30 days from start to finish after that counseling is done. So it doesn't take much longer than a traditional loan would, maybe just a week or two longer. And there's a lot less documentation. Typically, Social Security income is sufficient to qualify. So I would get copies of your Social Security income. We would pull your credit to see what is on there to make sure there's no federal delinquencies or any of that stuff that need to be taken care of. But we don't look at credit scores again, so that's nice. So you can have a 580 credit score, a 500, and we can do a reverse mortgage. We can also do them on manufactured homes.
Good to
So
know.
that's good to know for a lot of people that have manufactured homes that maybe want to look at a reverse mortgage. But yeah, so the process isn't too much longer than a traditional forward mortgage, and there's a lot less documentation. So
But
that's nice.
But a lot, excuse me, a lot of details that you go over again and again.
Yeah.
And the consultation is wonderful because they present it in a little different manner, and you might pick up something that you didn't with Kent. I really like doing the consultation.
It's well worth the investment into it.
So are you a 9 to 5 guy?
I am a 9 to 9.
9 to 9?
No, I'm pretty much available whenever.
Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, Monday through Saturday, yeah.
And on mountaintops too,
So,
right?
yeah.
I-
And on mountaintops, if I'm snowmobiling and I can take a phone call, I'll answer a question. But
He has done that for me, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So he's very, I would say he's kind of user-friendly, meaning he answers his calls in a timely manner. He may not pick up immediately, but within a couple of hours he has got back to me, whether it's by email, picking up the phone, or a text. And I know a lot of people my age, they know how to text now. and in an email it kind of gets lost, so
And
he's
the
your guy.
other thing, Yvonne, that I will do, because a lot of times it can be a little scary using electronic devices. I'm more than happy to go over to your
Their home.
home as often as needed, sit down in person, go over all the paperwork, and spend as much time as needed. Anywhere in the state of Utah, I'm happy to travel. So don't feel like, you know, if you don't understand technology, don't let that stop you from looking into a reverse mortgage to benefit you.
In other words,